Hello, and welcome back to the Paper Soprano podcast. My name is Heidi. And if you are hearing something in the background that sounds like a blowtorch, it's because it is, in fact, a blowtorch. Um, yes, so I'm home in my parents' place in Buffalo, in Hamburg, New York, and my dad is having a socially distanced get together outdoors. And of course, it's like literally freezing here, so he is making a bonfire. And yeah, for some reason, this has just kind of become something that I'm used to experiencing, but it always kind of catches me off guard. I'm like, what is that sound? And like 9 out of 10 times, actually, I think 10 out of 10, my dad's gonna use the blowtorch to start a fire. You know, I don't know why. I think maybe just because he has one and like it's faster and easier and he doesn't want to like build a campfire. Um, but whatever. So yeah. Um, and basically, that's the vibe this evening. We don't have a ton of snow here. I don't know where you're listening from if you have snow. Oh, we love all these sounds that we're experiencing in this home. Um, I'm obviously not in my normal soundscape, which is normally like dogs barking and like weird things happening. But yeah, so hope you are enjoying this upset in the podcast. um, so yeah, what's been going on today, you guys? How's your day going? How's December 22nd looking for you? Because for me, I feel like these days are always very strange and very like intermediate because you're kind of like waiting for Christmas, but you're also kind of like doing a bunch of stuff. I don't know. These times are strange. But anyway, so today was hilarious in a lot of ways because oh god. Um my sister, my older sister has a bulldog and she asked me if I could like babysit him because, I'm here and she doesn't like him sitting home alone all day and I totally get that. And there's also two dogs here. So why not? Why not have them all hang out together? So this morning I ran some errands in the morning and then picked up her dog. And oh my god, if you've ever interacted with a bulldog, they're just like the weirdest dogs I've ever encountered. And maybe I haven't very much encountered a lot of different types of breeds of dogs, but like, man, bulldogs are just so interesting. And he's like this dog Baxter, he's very young still. So he still has very like puppy like qualities, but oh my god. He's just like a ball of like a wrecking ball. Not even a ball of anything. He is a wrecking ball. Like that's his persona. And so today I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll have all three of them and we'll play outside and it'll be really fun and whatever. And we'll hang out. We'll get all nice and muddy because it's kind of warmish here, like 40 degrees, kind of warm. And we'll get all nice and muddy and stuff and then I'll like give them all a bath. And I'll just rinse them off because there's like hot water attached to the hose. And you're going to hear some speaking in the background. Totes fine. But anyway, so I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna play outside. We're gonna get all muddy and it's gonna be great." And so we're playing outside, and I forgot that I forgot that dogs poop, and the poop like lays in the yard. So, if you can put two and two together, we were playing outside, and yeah, there were lots of little piles of poop, and definitely stepped right into one, and was like, "Oh, great! this is great. So we had to take care of that, and then I got roped into like picking up all of the dog poop and like gagging because ew. And so that was my afternoon. And then of course the dogs were muddy, so after I, picked up 100 pounds of dog poop, I um then basically had to continue my strenuous endeavors by washing 3 dogs off because they were full of mud and probably poop, let's be honest. Probably a little bit of poop too. You know. So um the dogs, I'm not going to say they're afraid of water. They're just they're all very specific about it. The bulldog Baxter definitely didn't love it, whatever. Fine. And Maverick, the German Shepherd, literally would like his main concern with the hose is he just wants to like chomp at the water coming out of it. If you know what I mean, like he just literally wants to bite the water as it comes out. Like that's his main concern. Doesn't really care too much about getting wet, but doesn't like love it. And then our Labrador Retriever, which you would think would be totally like all about getting wet. He does love to swim. He loves water and stuff. But like he's constantly doing that like dog shake that like you always like see it in slow motion on commercials and people are like no and like water gets everywhere and it's terrible. Like I should have been wearing like a raincoat, like a rain suit, like a whole scuba suit to wash this dog because he probably shook while I was giving him like a bath and like bubbles were on him and like whatever. He probably shook like 10 to 15 times. I lost count because I was literally just like, what the heck? Like, here we go again. Um, so that was hilarious, and I had quite the time doing that. And yeah, I also finally finished my paper today for my seminar class, which was great. And I finally sent it in. You know when you're like you're finished with the paper, it's done, and you're like formatting it and you're checking it and you're looking it over and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and you just like can't stop looking it over. And you're like, oh well, okay, I'm about ready, but maybe just I'll check it over one more time. Or like, oh I should just scroll through it one more time. And it's just never gonna change. You know what I mean? Like you can change things or whatever, or, you just have to get rid of it. Just take it away. Get rid of it. I'm sick of it. But I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should check it one more time before I get rid of it. It's like, no, oh my god. But that was me this morning. Also, I've had like 3 cups of coffee today. Am I gonna be okay? Probably not. But, here we are. And yeah, just today has been a very interesting day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's always weird to be like back in your childhood home or like staying with your parents or staying with family or whatever. Like I feel like I'm kind of always like on edge a little bit. Like I'm always like, you know, not super 100% comfortable just because, that's how it is when you stay at somebody else's house or whatever. Um but yeah, always a little bit weird on that front. So I've been kind of dealing with that and kind of like just chugging along these past couple of days. And yeah, I actually went to one of the places that I used to frequent very often, which is a little coffee shop called Spot Coffee. And I used to literally go there all the time. Oh my god, I loved it so much. It was this little coffee shop and it was right on the corner of Main Street. It was open late. I could stay there and I could come early. I could come late at night. I could stay there all day. Like, I literally would go there and, like, work on applications or I would, work on my resume or, I took a gap year. So in that year, I was really focused on, like, applications and making sure everything was well in order. And yeah, it was weird going back there because of course obviously they're not seating anybody. You have to like carry in or carry out, or not carry in, but like take out and things like that. So it was weird going in there and seeing all the furniture pushed to the sides, and it was strange, and I was like, oh, this is really weird. And I mainly went in there to buy a gift for someone, so I was kind of like off to the sides, like looking at their little like kitschy, pottery, and um like little signs. You know how coffee shops have those things. They've got like little merchandise, like all those little tchotchkes. So I was looking at all that stuff, and I finally decided on like this cute little mug for the person I was buying a gift for. And I walk up to the register, and the the barista, she recognized me even with like a big mask on my face, and I wasn't wearing any makeup, and I probably look very different than I did 2 years ago, which was the last time that I was in there. Um, and she was like, "Hey, it's been a long time since you've been here," and I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah, it is. It has been like." And yeah, she's like, "Oh, how are you?" And I'm like, "Good. Like I actually live on Long Island now." And she was like, "Oh my god, no way." I was like, "Yeah." And like that doesn't seem like a lot by any means, but it was a really like weirdly meaningful interaction to me. Like, and I said to her, I was like, I used to really really love this place, and I loved being in here, and um I was trying to make it quick, like I was like, yeah, it means a lot, but I'm not trying to stay here all day. But I was like, yeah, like thanks so much, and I appreciate you saying something, and I really love this place, and it's gonna be back to normal soon. And she was like, yeah, soon enough, ha ha ha. Like very very cordial. It wasn't like sentimental by any means, but like for me, having someone recognize me, like literally, I have not been to that coffee shop in 2 years. Like for my entire master's degree, I have not been to that coffee shop in years. And it's crazy that she would recognize me, and say something, and I thought that was just really nice. And it's not like she was, trying to be contrived about it or anything. It was very genuine, and I was like, man, people do care. um but yeah, so that was nice, and um that happened today. Um, what else did I do today, you guys? Do you ever like think about your day and you're like, what the heck did I even accomplish today? But I did do a lot of things. Oh my god. I was thinking about this while I was doing this. I'm like, I'm probably gonna talk about this on the podcast. Um, After I was uh finished washing the dogs, they were obviously drying in the garage. I closed the garage door so it wouldn't get too cold, and I was like towel drying them off. And I didn't want to go inside right away because they're super wet and whatever. So we were just hanging out in the garage, and I was kind of like cleaning things up, and just straightening up. Um, but we have this beer fridge. We have this beer fridge that lives in the garage, and I was like, for some reason, compelled to like organize it. But I don't know, it was so satisfying to do. Like, so there's just like a plethora of beers, and Trulies and White Claws, and like pineapple juice, and like crazy, just like a myriad of things in this beer fridge. And I don't know, I wonder if anybody else feels this way, or if I'm just literally insane. But like organizing something and like making it look like, just like putting things where they should go is just like chef's kiss, amazing, 10 out of 10 experience. Like, I can't even tell you how satisfying it is for me to like organize something. I love organizing a pantry. Oh my god. Like, or like organizing a fridge, or organizing like a closet. Ooh, forget about it. Like a good closet organization, like a before and after pic. Oh my god. I'm crying tears of joy. Oh, and it's so satisfying when like I don't know. It's so satisfying when it's not yours, because obviously I look at my like whatever, like my closet isn't super messy, but I look at my own messy closet, and I'm looking at my own messy cabinets and medicine cabinet and stuff, and it's like it's not fun. It's not that fun. I want to do it, for someone else so they can be like, wow. And I can be like, yeah, mm-hmm. Isn't it good? But I feel like I'm probably the only one who does that. You know what I mean? Like, literally, everybody listening to this is like, what the heck? You like organizing other people's stuff? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So just take that as you will. And that is now something you know about me. So congrats. Thank you for being here. Oh my god. But that's kind of something that I've always liked to do, you know? Have you ever like when you were a kid, I feel like this might be more common amongst people who identify as female, maybe. So this is like a thing that or maybe not. I don't know. When you were young enough it didn't really matter, but like when you were young, did you ever like get together with your friends or your cousins and like try and like clean the house so that you could have a sleepover? Or like you did something like a chore or like a big project or you completed something like you reorganized the basement or you cleaned something or you know what I mean? Like you did some kind of chore so that like your parents would feel obligated to let you like have a sleepover, like have friends over or something. Maybe that was just me. If that never happened to you, just completely disregard. But if it did happen to you, like I want to know because I feel like that happened all the time with my sisters and my cousins and yeah, we would just like clean something and like we would hope that our like specifically your mom because like be like mom can I have a sleepover and like your dad doesn't really care usually but it was like oh mom can we have a sleepover and she's like no and you're like oh well we cleaned the basement come on and she'd be like probably still no but like sometimes it would work I don't know. Yeah, guys, it's been kind of a weird day. So I think we're gonna wrap it up a little bit early today. I'm hoping that we're gonna have a fun guest on the pod, maybe tomorrow, and we might be doing a little activity that might backfire a little bit because it involves like eating things. So maybe that's not the best for a podcast. I'm just thinking about this now. Maybe we'll test drinks instead, so there won't have to be any like crunching or like unintentional ASMR. Nobody wants that. If you want ASMR, you want it intentionally. You do not want unintentional ASMR when you're not expecting it. So, yeah, you guys, thanks so much for being here. Sorry this podcast was like really random and completely bizarre. Um oh my god, wait, before we go, I have to tell you. Here's the musical contribution to today's podcast. Literally today I had this vision, this flashback to the for some reason I was like I have to listen to the song Start All Over by Miley Cyrus from like 2007. And I couldn't tell you why I felt very compelled to listen to it or like why I needed to hear it. But I'm not kidding you. Like hearing that song rejuvenated me today. And like oh god, it was just so good. And like that whole vibe, like that 2007 like pop punky kind of thing that was happening with like lots of eyeliner and like, influenced a lot by Green Day kind of deal. That kind of Miley, I will say. Like Miley has gone through so many phases. And I was just like, oh, you know that one Miley song, that really obscure random one that nobody cares about except for me? Like, let's hear it. Blast it. Like, oh my god, it was so good. But yeah, so that's my musical contribution for the day. I didn't really do a ton other musical things other than finish my Mozart opera history paper. But yeah, dude, if you're feeling like reminiscent, highly recommend re-exploring some early Miley Cyrus. That was some good stuff, you know? it was good. Like, and her stuff, don't get me wrong, her stuff now, I love it. Like so, so, so much. And I don't love her vocal technique. I don't love the fact that, she's lost a lot of range. I don't love that aspect of it, but like, man, she has been able to just put out some bangers, dude. No pun intended, because there's like a whole album I think called Bangers. But like, um, yeah, like she's just great, and she's such a passionate icon. Like everything that she does or puts out on stage, or like everything is so fiery and like intense. It's kind of like crazy watching her. Like sometimes it's like mesmerizing in a bad way, like you're watching a car accident and you're like, "Oh my god, what the heck is she doing? Like what the heck is this?" Like Wrecking Ball and like, the tongue out thing and whatever, that whole phase. Like I wasn't totally in love with that, but I got it, I understood. And yeah, dude, check out some of her like backyard um covers that she's been doing. If you haven't seen them, oh my god. I'm thinking specifically of the one that she did with her sister. I got so high that I saw Jesus. Very good. Excellent, excellent stuff. She did a ton of other covers, like I think she did some Joan Jett. I think she did um, probably some other really iconic pieces that I'm totally blanking on right now. She probably did Jolene. She probably did all those good country songs that are so iconic. But yeah, dude, check her out. Her band is intense and so, so good. She's intense and also good. Like, yeah. Miley Cyrus, dude. Oh man, and I don't totally agree with everything she does. I don't totally agree with everything she stands for and whatever, but like, man, she can rip you up a little bit, you know? She can make you feel some things, and I think that's really powerful. It's like you toe this line as a performer of like, do I want to preserve my instrument and like preserve my voice over the years and like make sure I can sing well into my 50s and my 60s and like, you know, use it more as like a craft and like use technique and blah blah blah, or do I want to like do whatever the heck I want to do and potentially destroy my instrument, potentially ruin it, but like get some really crazy sounds while I can, you know? And just like completely push the limits of singing and like, make these insane sounds that, it doesn't matter if I can make them in 10 years because I know that I'm making them now and I want to make them now and now's the time for them to be made. You know what I mean? So it's like this back and forth with artists like Miley Cyrus, where I feel like she's very much on the side of like, I'm just gonna make the craziest sounds that I can right now for as long as I can, and then when I can't, I won't do it. And maybe who knows? Maybe when she can't make those sounds, she'll find new sounds to make. Oh man! And if you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, do check out Miley Cyrus, dude. I'm serious. Like she's got some really really good content in terms of musical stuff, and like live performances are good too for the most part. Like yeah, it's really interesting to see her progression from like a contrived controlled Disney artist to this really really just far out pushing the boundaries pop artist that is just really trying to go beyond pop and just like push commercialism to its limits. Oh man. But anyway, yeah, so cool, you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Again, sorry this podcast was really weird, but we do not edit here and we do not cut things out. This is what it is, you guys. And the whole idea of this podcast, as you know, is like we're just here to spew and that's it. And if something beautiful happens from that, then good. Okay, take from that what you will. And thanks so much for being here. Hope you are enjoying whatever you're doing today, whenever you're listening to this. Hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Please support the podcast, like and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. And thanks so much for listening. I appreciate literally each and every one of you, and anybody who has reached out to me and asked to be a guest or just had some kind of comment on the podcast itself or the content. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate you, and I hope that we can continue our journey together. I'm still going to be here tomorrow, so I hope you will be. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. This has been the Paper Soprano podcast. Oh gosh. All right. Love you, mean it. Bye.